What's up with it? What's up with it, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video of that man, Erling Haaland, taking the world by goddamn storm. He has exceeded all expectations since he's joined the Premier League. I don't think nobody thought he was going to turn it up like this. Even I was doubting him at first. You know, when Liverpool and Man City played each other in the Community Shield, I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. They're so used to false nines and whatnot. They don't know how to feed that boy Erling. He's getting goddamn fed, bro. This video is recorded before the Liverpool and Man City game on Sunday, so hopefully he ain't go off too bad, and hopefully Liverpool beat the hell out them Man City boys, man. Erling Haaland is breaking football by my boy Raymar Football. Let's see where it goes down.
The most goals ever scored in a
subscribe to that
38-game
man.
Premier League season was Mo Salah's 32 in the 2017-18 season. However, back in the early 1990s, in a 42-game season, both Andy Cole and Alan Shearer scored a record 34 goals. But in something that's never been seen before in English football, Erling Haaland is on pace to absolutely destroy these records. Some analysts projecting him to score anywhere from 50 to 60 goals in the Premier League alone. In just 9 matches, Haaland has scored a total of 15 goals and 3 assists.
He damn near half that record only in 9 matches.
An insane 2 goal contributions per game, becoming the first player in Premier League history to have 3 successive home game hat-tricks, scoring nearly twice as much as the league's second top scorer, Harry Kane.
And I seen something on Twitter, nobody even talking about the year Harry Kane is having.
But that's not the only crazy thing Haaland is doing this season. In fact, there are many more incredible stats that might blow your mind. Doing things we've never really seen since Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi's best ever seasons. Those two were constantly one-upping each other for a decade. But as of right now, there's really no other player that rivals the insane things that Haaland's doing. That's right, not even Mbappe. So today, we're gonna look at how Erling Haaland is breaking football.
Erling need him a rival, bro. Mbappe, I know they say Mbappe want to leave Paris Saint-Germain. He need to go ahead and come over to the goddamn Premier League, man. Start this rivalry up so they can elevate each other. They go elevate each other playing in the same league, bro. It's going to be good for football, man. Mbappe, come on, go ahead to the You Never Walk Alone, boys, man.
If you look at the rise of Erling Haaland, it's pretty crazy to see the evolution of his goal-scoring ability. There weren't many that would really know Haaland until he was in Red Bull Salzburg in the Austrian Bundesliga.
That boy used to play for Salzburg?
Although it isn't exactly a top 5 league, I personally remember when I heard that some 19-year-old had scored a total of 29 goals and had 7 assists in 27 matches, which included 5 hat-tricks in a single season and winning the league title for both seasons he stayed with the club. I thought it was just too good to be true. In fact, I was a little skeptical and had my doubts as well, and I'm sure that many of you felt the same way.
Everybody was saying he played in a farmers league, huh?
Maybe it was a fluke season, or he was just too good to be there. I recall seeing a lot of people on social media wondering if he could maintain that form in the top league, and naturally I had wondered the same thing as well. However, when Haaland would move to Dortmund, a lot of doubt and skepticism would start to go away, and he would prove himself more and more. This is when the memes would start. We would see a Haaland that was literally bulldozing his way past defenders and scoring bangers. I myself slowly turned from a doubter to a believer, as Haaland would continue to absolutely hammer goals match after match. The guy even gained weight and put a lot of muscle on, making him even more of a physical specimen. We've never really seen a forward with a build quite like Haaland before. The man is nearly 2 meters tall, or about 6'4".
I was just about to say, how much is 2 meters in feet?
Well, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is quite similar. After all, they're both pretty much the same height and are quite acrobatic. And while that might be true, their overall skill set is quite different.
Is Erling more skilled than Zlatan? Would y'all say that? Would y'all say that Erling is more skilled than Zlatan?
Haaland is much faster than Zlatan and can accelerate incredibly quickly for a player of his size. And because Zlatan is a much better dribbler and uses a lot more skill to play, he doesn't nearly use his pure physicality to score.
So Zlatan is a better dribbler.
On the other hand, Haaland has amazing touch, but he's never been much of a dribbler. Doesn't need
Erling
to do
just
all that,
goals.
so he plays much more physically and aggressively.
I'm ready to score goals.
Straight to the goal, beating out his defenders and putting the ball in the back of the net. And in terms of finishing, Haaland is much more accurate and has far better anticipation and movement. It's just insane how deadly he is in front of goal. His size and acrobatic athleticism also helps him jump, slide, or contort his body and get the ball anywhere as long as it's in reach for a goal. And his finishing is much more different from that of Cristiano Ronaldo or Lewandowski, for example. If you guys ever remember Ruud van Nistelrooy, he was infamous for being what many would call today as a quote-unquote tap-in merchant. He was incredibly accurate near the goal. But hilariously enough, this Man City fan describes Haaland perfectly.
Does Ronaldo have braces? I did not know that boy Cristiano used to have braces, man.
Start Haaland, and I love Aguero. I love Aguero. But Haaland is like the striker Van Nistelrooy always wanted to be.
As soon as Haaland arrived in Dortmund, he would continue to do the same thing he did at Salzburg, score a ton of goals. He'd have 16 goals and 6 assists in his short 18-match debut in the Bundesliga, becoming the fastest Bundesliga to score 5 goals and becoming the first to score 7 goals in only 3 matches on their debut.
Everywhere he goes, bro.
Wow, this kid is pretty good. But it wasn't really until the 2020-21 season that all doubts were gone of how legitimate Haaland was. And I know that this was a season that many of you started to believe he was a solidified talent as well. He would become the fastest and youngest player to ever score 20 goals in Champions League history, as well as being the youngest to score at least 2 goals in 4 consecutive matches.
That's the biggest stage.
Finishing off as a Champions League top scorer and being named the tournament's best forward. And in Germany, he'd win the Player of the Season award and would finish the season with a total of 41 goals and 12 assists in 41 appearances.
I didn't know that man was the top goal scorer in Champions. I ain't know he got the top goal scorer in the Champions League window.
Monstrous for a 20-year-old.
Yes.
Despite having some injuries in his hips and hamstrings that would sideline him for a few months, in his final season with Dortmund, the man was still in form as ever, with 29 goals and 8 assists in only 30 matches. So during his time in Germany, Haaland holds the record as the youngest and fastest to score 50 goals, which only took him exactly 50 matches. He also became the youngest to score 4 goals in a single match, and was the first player to score a hat-trick coming in as a substitute when he came on the pitch after 56 minutes of play. That's just insane for a guy who wouldn't even be old enough to buy a beer in the US. But despite all of that, the only success he's really had with his club was the German Cup. And yet, there was still some doubters saying Haaland played in a Farmers League and still really needed to prove himself and win some real silverware. Which brings us to today, where Haaland moved to play in the consensus #1 league in the world, making an absolute mockery of the Premier League. I remember he faced a lot of criticism early on, failing to score in Man City's 3-1 Community Shield loss to Liverpool, but
including me, I was on his ass too.
After that, Haaland would go on a monstrous run, even setting a record for most consecutive home appearance hat-tricks with 3, while also becoming the first player to score in his first 4 away games, and is already on pace to smash every Premier League single-season goal-scoring record there is. In fact, if you look at the most Premier League goals scored in a player's first 10 matches, Haaland easily stands above the rest, while doing it at a much younger age. And like I mentioned, he's on his way to destroy the Premier League single-season goal record. Also, look at the list of the most goals scored by players in their first 30 matches of the Champions League. Haaland already stands above all of the players in this list, except instead of 30, he's only played in 22 matches. That's 8 games less while scoring a considerable amount more. In fact, as of right now, Haaland has the best goal-scoring ratio of all time in the Champions League.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant of all time in general. I was about to say, oh my goodness.
28 goals in 22 matches.
So Haaland is the Champions League.
Insane 1.27 goals per game.
What if he's the one to bring Man City over that hump and Man City win them their first Champions League? Boy, the Erling Haaland hype train gonna go super duper up if Man City win Champions League this year, boy. On my mama.
Are higher than Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, and even the second highest ever.
Look at the company
he's
with,
who
man.
has 0.97 goals per game in the competition. Right now, he's on track to beat the record for most consecutive matches scored in the Premier League, nearly there with 7, only needing to beat 11.
Smashing
and he only needs
everybody
2 more
records,
hat-tricks
bro.
to tie Alan Shearer's record for most hat-tricks in a single season. And he may very well beat Aguero's record for 5 goals scored in a single match with the club. and he's only 12 goals away from being Norway's all-time goal scorer. Insane for someone who's only 22 years old.
I wish I wish the United States had us a wonder boy like Erling Haaland, man.
With Haaland being in the perfect system under a squad with incredible midfield talent,
perfect
like KDB,
system,
who can provide him
they
the
feed him.
assists, playing under Pep Guardiola, whose goal is to get the ball to Haaland to score.
Perfect
There's a very
system.
high chance he can keep up this insane production, while also being the final piece that can actually lead Man City to a Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
Right now, the only records I can't see him beating just yet are that of Ronaldo and Messi.
And that shows how good Ronaldo and goddamn Messi is, bro. That shows how great they was, and I'm mad I went there to see it.
Example, Cristiano Ronaldo's single-season Champions League record of 17 goals in 11 matches, and Messi's insane 91 goals
91.
in a year. Because if Haaland wants to catch up with Ronaldo's all-time record, he'll have to average 46.6 goals a year for the next 15 years.
That's crazy, boy.
And for Messi's 91, Haaland would have to average about 1.6 goals a game for the next 60 matches if he wants to beat that. And I'm not saying it's impossible, just incredibly difficult, but for now it'll be very fun to watch him try.
What if he
do it?
do
At the very
it?
least, we all have to admit that Erling Haaland is legit.
What if he do it? What if he do break? What if he do break Messi's 91 goal scoring in a single calendar year? Or what if he do break Cristiano's goal scoring record? It's just that what if is always looming there, bro. That's going to be crazy. Erling Haaland is definitely a special talent. Mbappe need to come on over to the Premier League. I know he's jealous with all the attention that Haaland is getting over here. Haaland is on a perfect team. Man City, they be feeding that boy. Kevin De Bruyne, you know what I'm saying? Be feeding that boy. Everybody be feeding that boy. It's just perfect, man. It's beautiful football to watch when you watch Man City. Like I say, this video was made before Man City versus Liverpool. Hopefully, Erling didn't tee up against my goddamn team, man. And hopefully, the Liverpool boys got that dub, man. I'm out.